Women podcast. For your career and your life, no matter what business you're in.
Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of the Northern Power Women podcast with me, Sam Walker, with she, Simone Roche. How are you doing, Simone?
I feel all right. I feel quite good and buoyant and, full of the joys of autumn.
You don't sound surprised. Why are we sounding surprised that we feel all right? That's the state of the world, isn't it?
Well, we seem to have had we've absolutely had the last kind of month, I think, is absolutely, you've been lifting each other up, hasn't it? Which is absolutely what we do and what we want to do. But yeah, I feel good, I think. I think there's lots of
Don't
great
dial back
things
on it now.
on. I know, but it does feel good. It feels good. I feel like there's some great stuff happening. I think just trying to motor on through the, any other kind of COVID/Brexit announcements, trying to just stay with, focus on what we do.
Just remember, you could be living in America with this political system. Just remember that, although you seem to be catching up quite well at the moment. Let's move on. Let's not make it about politics. We've got so much to talk about this week. There is so much going on in the world of business and a return to work and getting back in the office and the way women leaders are still treated and so much to go at. Something I noticed that really I found really interesting, Simone, is this new social distancing app. And it's been brought in by Network Rail. It's being used by Network Rail as one of kind of the first big users in the UK. And if you and I both work for Network Rail, we'd have to download this app to our phone. It's mandatory for staff, okay? And then we have the app running in the background. And if I see you across the office and go, Simone, it's been ages, and I walk towards you, beep, 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 bzz, bzz, the app alerts you if you are too close to a co-worker.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, I don't know how I feel. Part of me thinks that's brilliant. It's going to keep us all safe. It's going to keep that distance. And the other bit is like, this is getting a bit Big Brother. It feels a bit strange.
Well, do you know, that is strange because today in the office was talking about something and, the way we all have our moments and you go, oh gosh, this outfit does not look amazing. It's not showing my best bits, let's face it. And I just made a comment and I went, oh, I've got this tummy going on. How has that even happened? I've been doing yoga every day and all this kind of stuff. And then really bizarre, I'm checking my socials last night and I haven't even been searching for this, but it was on Facebook, comes up with walking to get rid of your tummy.
Oh man alive, they're everywhere.
And Eleanor straight away went, it's because they're listening through Siri. But I'm worried. How has that happened? I genuinely haven't been searching or, obsessing about that, but that's come up on my phone. How has that happened? And sorry, I know that's taken us off the socially distanced app, but it's a similar thing, isn't it? How is this information, that alert of, you are too close? I don't know. I think I'm a little bit, we want to be safe, absolutely. I don't know whether I need an app to tell me that.
There is no doubt that your phone isn't listening to you. I think that I've actually listened to a bunch of podcasts which confirm that from sort of tech leaders. And you're right, you could literally mention anything. I think my daughters and I once did a little experiment when we talked about, I'd really love some insert name of perfume here. Let's just say I would love to buy or have as a gift insert name of perfume here. And we said it again and again and again. And what do you know, next time I'm browsing, ping, there it is. So, I mean, it does listen, and anyone who says it doesn't, wake up. We are constantly being listened to, and things like WhatsApp messages are read. I mean, they're all encrypted, they're not read by a human being, but it's all data. And let's not forget, if you don't pay for a service, you are the product. We are the product of every single social network, and all of our data is constantly being mined. My husband works in data, and things he tells you, it makes your toes curl. But it's not hidden away. It's not secret. All you need to do is kind of, all those massively long user agreements, we just press tick.
Yeah.
I mean, it is all on there. But yeah, this Network Rail, I think, is interesting because it does remind us to be safe, and it is easy just to get a little bit closer all the time without realising it, because it's in our human nature to get close to people, isn't it? But I would really be interested if that has been rolled out by your company. Let us know, please. podcast@northernpowerwomen.com. Does it work? How do you feel? Is it a bit creepy? Or do you love it and you feel reassured by it? Do come and let us know. We need to talk about female leaders again and the treatment female leaders, or rather female business leaders, entrepreneurs, still get in society.
Yes. So again, you jumped on the world of Twitter. One of our sort of fellow building workers sort of put out a shout out about, is it me, or as an entrepreneur who happens to be female, do you get that almost head tilt when you tell someone you're a female entrepreneur or you own or run your own business? They go, that's nice. Do men get that same comment?
Well done.
Well done. But actually then Marnie Millard, who we love, don't we, on in Northern Power Women World, she's the chief exec of Nichols, which is Vimto. She says, yep, when I've said I'm a chief exec, I get again a similar kind of response. And also that, what did she call it? She called it the Brucey. Oh, well, that's nice. That was my Brucey. That was my Brucey impression. I need to start with that. But it's that kind of, it is that head tilt, and we're laughing, but it's just ridiculous, isn't it? It's absolutely ridiculous why that sort of, why would you get that response? You know, it's not easy, is it? It's not easy running a business.
Ruth Ibegbuna, who of course was previously on this podcast when we did the big interview in season 1 with her, I mean, she talked about the fact that, you know, if you think of a CEO, you do not think of a black northern woman. So she would say, when she was a CEO of Reclaim, she'd say, hi, yeah, I'm a CEO. And people would go, really? You? Yeah. No, where's the real CEO? Where is he? Where's the real guy who's really pulling all the strings? But I've had that. I've been asked as well, yeah, but how do you actually, you know, that doesn't pay your mortgage, right? Was one comment I got. What actually pays your mortgage? And I was like, my business, the work that I do and I have created for myself. And there is something empowering, however small the amount may be. Maybe it doesn't pay your mortgage or your rent to start with, but when you actually look at a spreadsheet and go, £5,000, £5,000 that I have generated, I've made that came from nowhere. That wasn't me just working hard and someone paying me for my hard work, which is a completely valid way to make money. I'm not knocking that for a second. But to look at something and go, I generated that. It is incredibly powerful.
It is, and I think of that, you know, sort of Northern Power Women is my child. You know, this is beyond 5.5 years coming together and building a mass community, and I'm immensely proud. And it, you know, everyone has different priorities, and everyone has different objectives, and you know, no two businesses are the same, no matter who runs it. But I am really proud. It may not be this massively profitable or commercial organisation, but I really hope that everybody within the community that we engage with, we try and encourage to, you know, use your power, be a role model, you know, but those doing that is so important. So I think it is incredible that we still have those kind of conversations around this sort of eye rolling or shock of a female. And it was Ruth Hartnell who sort of put the original tweet out. So yeah, just come on, people, come on.
Love to hear from you. If you didn't respond to that tweet, let us know if you've had that sort of response when you've talked about running your own business, or just get in touch and let us know, please, some completely badass female business leaders, because we don't know everybody, of course we don't, and we would love to hear from you. If you just want to give a shout out to somebody awesome, bob us an email, podcast@northernpowerwomen.com. They're coming for you, Simone. I can hear them in the background.
I think they are absolutely coming for me. There's not more than 6 people in my group. I swear that now, officer.
No, I'm interested in this because this is another one. I'm not quite sure how I feel. So there's a woman called Emily Bendel. I don't know if it's Bendel or Bendel. I'm sorry, Emily, I don't know how to pronounce your surname, but you know who you are because you are the founder and CEO, founder of lingerie brand Blue Bella. Now, she is actually challenging a private members club in London called the Garrick Club and saying that it is, in fact, violating the Equality Act 2010. It's an exclusive club in the West End of London. Sir Laurence Olivier, Charles Dickens used to be members, so it's got a long and literary history. It doesn't allow women to be part of the club, okay? It is a men-only, gentlemen-only member club. She's saying that this shouldn't be acceptable, and I'm not sure. the jury's out for me. And my initial response is, that's ridiculous. But then I think safe spaces are so important for women. Women-only spaces are really important. And men, how do you want men-only spaces? Is that unreasonable to suggest that men shouldn't be allowed men-only spaces? I don't know.
Yeah, it's an interesting one, isn't it? Emma Green, again, one of our futurists, I think she didn't put something on Twitter. She messaged me, I think the weekend before last, to say, I'm sat in, I'm not even sure it was a golf club. I don't want to misquote here, but, I've just been asked to leave.
Wow.
I've just been asked to leave because women are not allowed here. So it's a tricky one, isn't it? It's a tricky, and it's not, because I'm a bit with you straight away. I'm like, no, it's 2020.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
And, it's absolutely ridiculous. But we do talk about, you're right, we do talk about, spaces that you can thrive and grow in. And, the women's organisation here, and where our offices, the police are coming again, aren't they? They are absolutely coming again for me. But yeah, this building was built with female economic empowerment in mind.
But men are allowed in. I mean, Northern Power Man walks through the doors every day. It's not like there's no men allowed, is it?
Yeah, he's not like Rapunzel, where he comes up through my COVID length hair through the window. I don't do that. No, actually, and they do. They have a percentage. They want a percentage of their tenants as females. So yeah, you're right. Absolutely. So it is. I suppose I get alerted to the President's Club of a couple of years back.
Yeah.
I get alerted to that shenanigans. So I haven't actually looked. I don't know what type of club this is, and I'm conflicted on it, because I think there is a dependence on what it is. If it's a men only club for men who have suffered a specific type of trauma, or there's a stigma around it. I don't know. If it's I don't know. I feel like it could be posh white men in suits, doing deals. I don't know if that then feels like it's an old boys club.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? And I suppose what happens is, unfortunately, in a lot of these men-only member clubs, that's where business deals are done. That's where big decisions. I mean, as the woman Emily Bendel mentioned, she said this is the sort of place where leaders and ex-leaders of the country congregate and make decisions about our country. And if women are not invited into that really important decision-making space, how do we ever progress? So I really see both sides. I'd really love to hear from you. We both would. We always want to carry on the conversation, hear what you think. Do get in touch. You know what? Let's do let's put a tweet out about it on the day of the podcast release. Just have a look on Twitter at North Power Women and have a look, and come and join in, please. We'd really, really like to know what you think, because I think it's an interesting debate. And men, please do get in touch, because guess what? Northern Power Women is not a man-free zone by any means. So it'd be great to hear from you.
Absolutely. No, I think that's really important. We'll definitely put that poll out. We've got a levelling up report coming out in a couple of weeks, and actually that's one of those things, is about we want a seat at the table, but equally come to our table. But it is that balance, isn't it? Is that balance? So really good to see the results of what comes from this, because we know you all like to join the conversation.
100%. You know what I want? I want some life lessons, please.
Absolutely. This week we have got, I really enjoyed, there's some brilliant sound bites on this one. This is Louise Doyle from Mesma, passionate about education for young people. And I've listened to these life lessons about 2 or 3 times over just today, because I don't think they just resonate with me. Here's Louise.
Hi everyone, my name is Louise Doyle. I am the co-founder of a quality management technology business called Mesma. We're based up in the Northeast. Okay, here's my 5. I'm starting with what's one piece of advice that has really stuck with you. That would be that whenever I have had to make a decision where perhaps I felt uneasy about what the consequences of it might be, imagine it on the front page of a tabloid with your friends, family and colleagues reading it. It has an unbelievable ability to focus your attention on what you should or shouldn't do. Number 2, tell us about an important role model in your life. I'm going to choose 3. They're all linked, so I'll make it quick. I choose Zoe Carr, OBE, the CEO of Wise Academies, Deb Ward, the executive head of the Blythe Academies, who are part of the same chain, and Ellen Thinson, who is the CEO of Education Partnership Northeast College Group. Between them, they are accountable for the education of thousands of children and young adults, many of whom are actually from deprived areas. They're what I call warrior women. I'm so lucky to serve on the boards of their organisation, and we've never needed women or people like them now more than in the current situation that we find ourselves in. Okay, number 3, when have you taken a risk and what happened? That would be the time when I walked out on my job. I didn't have any income at all, but it actually resulted in me setting up my first business. And I'm not sure without a really difficult time, I would have made the choice to do that. I always find that moment when you're hanging your toes right over the edge of the cliff are the times when you learn the most. And for me, the times when I probably make the most interesting decisions. Number 4, what advice would you pass on to someone starting their career? This is really easy, actually. The most rewarding jobs you'll have, and that's in terms of impact, don't necessarily come with a paycheck. So look for personal growth opportunities that also actually allow you to give back, perhaps to the community that you work in, and do it without cash getting in the way. It's really interesting how you personally respond to that and what you gain from that. And the last one, number 5, what would you tell your 25-year-old self about work-life balance? You're going to stress yourself out trying to get it because actually you just can't. So if you think of it as those old-fashioned scales where you've got work on one side and you've got life on the other, become attuned to your own tolerance of when that tips just too far and you're not happy anymore and therefore you need to take action. But above all else, to me, it's really important to know that we all make an arse of it at times, so don't beat yourself up when you don't get it right.
Thank you so much to the wonderful Louise Doyle. I adore the whole newspaper headline hack that she's got there. That, really putting things into perspective, because we can get carried away with stuff, can't we? Brilliant stuff. Do get in touch with your life lessons, please. Just send us an email, podcast@northernpowerwomen.com. We'll tell you what to do, but we'd love to hear from you, please.
So many great ones, and all I reckon for the forthcoming Life Lessons book. Just saying.
Yes, it's got to be done.
We've said it now, we have to make it happen. We're good at that. So one thing I do not want to be in this book is the wonderful Jacinda Ardern, who is the Prime Minister of New Zealand. Yeah. She's starting her election tour in her hometown, and Bloomberg last week reported that she started on a campaign, but it's okay. Her parents are reportedly babysitting her daughter. Why is that in the news? Why does that last 6 words have to be reported? So I got quite sort of cross about that, and we got some really interesting sort of socials around it. Equality starts anywhere. It ought to start at home. Childcare is an issue for men and women. But then actually we got another really interesting comment was actually it's really good that that's talked about, because is that not role modeling that this is a working mum? But I don't know. I just don't. I know I do, and I said it's a really great point, but I still think we can't report about one politician and not another. And that, to me, I think it is about, I think Sam Wall joined the conversation on Twitter, and she was like, she summed it up, consistency has to be the key, I think.
100%. And you're right. And in a way, a lot of male politicians, a lot of the sort of criticisms levelled against male politicians, that they don't come across as human beings in the way that female politicians do. So actually, do report on Jacinda Ardern's childcare, but also report on Boris Johnson's and Donald Trump's and every other male leader around the world. Why not? Let's do that instead, because actually we are all human beings. We are all family people, whether we've got children or not, whether we've got, husbands, wives, partners, brothers, sisters, mums, dads. So maybe that's another solution, actually. It's, interesting. Again, we want to hear from you. Do come and let us know. And we need an answer to a very, very important question about what you call a collective of Northern Power women? I love this question.
It's brilliant. Oh, it's fantastic. Last week, before we went down to the 6 people cannot gather, in fact, actually, there were only 7 of us, and literally passing through our the cafe below our office space, we had the Innovate Hair girls, who are just brilliant, doing fantastic things for young girls in STEM, and Maggie O'Carroll from the women's organisation Northern Power Women, Ellen and myself had to do a selfie, and I just thought it just was so great. I'm like, what do you call? So some of the responses, dangerous. A dream team of. I love Gemma McGowan just saying, I love dangerous, but actually I love the fact they're just boss. And then Nicola Talkington came up with a swarm, a hive, or get this, a murmuration.
Ooh, I'm liking
Who's
murmuration.
Googling that now? Who's Googling murmuration?
Do you know what? After the conversation we've had today, talking about men-only exclusive clubs, talking about Jacinda Ardern, talking about women leaders being told, well done for being a leader, I'm going to say the good name for a collection of Northern Power women is an eyeroll. An eyeroll of Northern Power women. That's all we've done this week.
I love that. Absolutely. Yeah, we'll take that. I can fill a whole word cloud of these descriptor terms. So, yes. And if you've got any ideas, please, do you know what? We want you to overwhelm our socials this week. LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Tell us what you think. Tell us what you think about all the topics that we talked today. This could have been we did say this before, this could have been a real bumper episode, couldn't it?
You'll have to wait till next week, though, for the rest of it. Absolutely. Well, there you go. Another episode of the Northern Power Women podcast. Thank you so very much for listening. The next episode is on the way for you on Monday, September the 21st. Until then, I'm Sam Walker. She's Simone Roche. Do take very good care of yourself. And the Northern Power Women podcast is a What Goes On media production.